What is going on, everybody? Welcome in. What's up, Brennan, Squaw, H. Woo? Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time of day it is for you. What's up, Fly Heel? Waiting for entry, stop, TP, please. I don't have time for more. Alright, I'll see what we can do. What's up, Nova Q? Thanks for being here. What's up, Tawana from North Iraq? What's up, Simon? Missed you too, man. It's been a couple days. But now we got some really good volatility. Touring says, I don't want to long, but I'm longing. What's up, Sunjuice? Michael? Antoine? Decided to switch up the time a little again, I guess. You guys can hear me, right? Just so I don't do one of those same things as last time where I was just talking the entire time. And no one heard me. What's up, Mitchell? What's up, Scott? Yeah, decided to switch up the time of the stream again. Just to accommodate some other time zones. What's my hit rate? Depends slightly on the setup, but right now I'm around mid to low 60s. I think 63, 64, something like that. This time's perfect. Cool. I think I'm streaming at this same time tomorrow, actually, instead of Thursday. We'll talk about that towards the end of the stream when more people are here. But I don't know if you guys know SMFX on Twitter, but I am planning to stream with him. You prefer the old time, HWoo? We'll still be streaming at the old time as well. Yeah, it's interesting. We're gonna talk about all this. We'll give people a couple more minutes to get in, and then we'll get started. I just got a new iPad. Kind of excited about that with that funky magic keyboard thing, the floating one. It's kind of cool. I kind of like drawing my squigglies with the iPad pen. Marvin, greetings from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Awesome. Good to have you here, man. All right, so we gave people a few minutes. Welcome to another episode of Kicking It with Cause. These streams are brought to you by Bybit, my preferred derivatives trading platform, and also Zort. We did a little rundown on this company with the founder and CEO last episode. I've gotten to know him over the last however long it's been. I actually got to meet him, and I've decided to partner with them. So I'm going to be working with them as well now. If you guys missed the last episode and you're interested, you can go check it out. If not, it is what it is. I'll be talking about them every now and then. And planning to set my account up soon. I need to get around to doing that for their automated algorithmic trading. And if you guys are like a little unsure about it, we're going to trade a live account. Well, it is going to trade a live account. You guys can just watch and see how it works and then do whatever you want to do. So, all right, let's get into the analysis. We had a huge Monday on Bitcoin, from Monday's low to Monday's high. We're working in like a 15% range. So a lot of volatility, which is good to see. If we close the daily candle green and strong like this, then it'll kind of take away the little bit of worry I have with how ugly this daily candle was. For right now, I know people are probably super tired of hearing me say it, but we are still in a range, technically. We tapped the range high. If we break above Monday's high this week, then I think we long this to like 48, okay? Like that would kind of be the breakout scenario, and then retest the floor before this breakdown. 48, 50K, whatever you want to call it. But that's one of the scenarios we're looking for. I don't think it's going to happen right now. I don't think we're going to grind out like 10 green days in a row. It's possible, but I'm not necessarily like banking on it. But it is something I'm keeping an eye on. Like if we're watching this from a lower time frame and it comes up here, just starts consolidating around here maybe for a day or two, and then we get that nice breakout above Monday's high, we're absolutely going to be longing this. We could get faked out and we just sweep Monday's high and then break back down. If it's looking like that, I'll try to avoid entering, but I think the reward of catching along when we break out of this range is pretty high, where it's worth it. And then if we did break above and lose Monday's high, I think you can just cut the trade, enter a short, target Monday's low. Okay. Got my Zort ready to make money. Does Zort beat holding spot, do you think? I'm not 100% sure. I am going to test it. I don't know how much I'll deposit in it. Maybe we'll do like a 10K account, because I feel like that's something that most people would be able to do. And then we'll just test it and we'll see how it goes. We'll get some results. We'll get some data and then go from there. What's up, Wreck Proof? Good to see you, brother. Everyone wants to see us do a stream together, so we are going to have to do that soon. How do I distinguish between a fake out and actual holding above? So I get this question a lot. Part of it, it's taking a risk, but some clues you can use to help you. If it's grinding up here, right, and you see a spike, let's say you're watching the 1 hour chart and you see a wick, a big wick rejection like this, then I would probably call that a fake out. A clue that it could be a real pump is if you get like a really impulsive move, like a strong move out of it, where it breaks a lot of space through and closes like way up here, then it's like, all right, this looks like a legitimate breakout. So those are two things you can look for. I typically will trade the 30-minute or the hourly chart to kind of execute. Yeah. What about high time frame short, boss? I think you're talking about like since we're at the range high, but we will talk about that shortly. We're legit the same person. Yeah, more or less. So I want to pull up this chart, which is one of my ranges on Bitcoin that we're working with. You guys have probably seen this a million times if you tune into the stream a lot. I use this low and this high. I like the interaction with the mid-range, and also I think you still get a good range using these two levels, but the discrepancy of where this wick is on every exchange makes me err on the side of caution and want to find just something that fits a little better. So right now we are into 12-hour supply, and also swept this high right into it. So this was a short scenario for me yesterday. I did take this short off the hourly when we swept that high and closed 25% of it here, and then moved my stop to 37.7, I think, and just got stopped out and profited the rest of that. But full transparency. But yeah, that is one of the setups that I take frequently. And I do think that there's a possibility that this comes back towards the range lows. But because we were getting close to the mid-range and we retested this high right here, I just kind of wanted to lock in some profit and knew that I could get back in shortly if I needed to. So right now I'm kind of looking for something if we retest this and then come back down as a possible short scenario. And then on the other hand, the other short scenario, I guess there are three short scenarios. Either we push up, reject here, and roll over. Either we come up, take out Monday's high, and then drop. That's the scenario we're talking about right here. If we do something like that. Or we take out this high as well. We kind of like take out every high from this range and then break down back below here and then head down. So that's the other thing I want to be cautious of, because if we look at our other range, let me just move this. It would be with this low, this high, and regardless, like this is somewhere that I would look for rejection. But if this does push above, let's say we break above Monday's high here and then take this out, then I think it's probably coming down. So we're getting to a point where things could be interesting. What's up, Timeless Being? Thanks for being here, homie. And just like we were erring on the side of looking for longs down here because we were in the bottom quartile of this range, in the same way, like I know it sucks because everyone's super bullish and you just want to be 100x long, but in this region I have to lean towards looking at shorts. So I'm still sitting in my spot. If you guys have been tuning into the streams, you know we've been trading spot within this range, buying between 30 and 32k and selling as close to 40 as we can. We did it once here, bought here, that was a little above 32k, sold on this sweep right there, and then I've just been holding the spot from here this entire time. So those buys were between 30 and 32k. I sold a little bit, 25% of this spot amount that I'm trading. I've talked about this before, but for you guys that are new, I think it's important to have if you believe in Bitcoin, if you believe in crypto, if you are in it for the long haul, I think it's important to have a spot bag that you don't touch. That is like this is my accumulate Bitcoin account or wallet, whatever you use. And you just don't touch that one. But within my trading accounts, I do manage the spot. So like in my Bybit account, I'll rotate between BTC, USDT, whatever it is, So, is this the real rec proof? Yes, it is. Should we call him on stream? If this rec proof in the chat starts asking for money, then I would probably say it's not the real one. But I was texting him earlier today, so I think it probably is. But hey, don't trust, verify, am I right? And I think it's the real Timeless Being too. I was talking with him on Twitter. So, anyway, those are the short scenarios we're looking for. Either a sweep of Monday's high or a sweep of the major high time frame range high at 42.5 and 43k. Now let's talk about some long scenarios. So I would say the main, I'll put a range on here just for some confluence. Hopefully it doesn't get too messy. I can delete it after you guys see the confluence as well. Never heard Recpr's voice. You want to? Okay. So there's like the reason I don't have the range marked on this chart is because we have Monday's high right here and then Monday's low and the monthly open right here. So it's like I don't need every single level on my chart that shows confluence for a specific area. I'll usually like mark up my charts, look at it, do my analysis, whatever you want to call it, and then kind of delete things that I think don't need to be there. So here's how the range looks on this chart. If we do get a sweep of Monday's high, you know we have confluence with the range high. And if we get a sweep of Monday's low into the monthly open, into the origin of this pump, we're in the general region of the mid-range. It's not directly on it, but I think mid-ranges are a bit more fluid in the fact that they're more so like a mean of where price is. And you can see this whole section here kind of has worked as SR recently. So I don't think you need to pinpoint the exact level. Like I'm not going to be like, oh, hourly close below this orange level, so this is super bearish now. That's not how I would look at it. And I'm never going to take a trade just off the mid-range, but I like to see it in confluence with my other levels that are a little bit more actionable. So I'm going to delete it now, but I just wanted to show you guys that. And let's see with this. Mid-range, pretty much the same spot. And I'm also just going to mark this level as some highs, so I don't need to leave it on the chart. And that's like the big upside scenario there, if we take out that high. I think going to 43K this week would be pretty sufficient. You wouldn't find me complaining. But okay, so now we have our levels that we kind of want to keep an eye on. I would say the main thing I'm looking for from a lower time frame basis, not super low time frame, but whatever you want to call it. If we push up a little more, reject from this, I'd love to see this consolidate / bleed for the rest of the day, maybe tomorrow. Excuse me. And then if we take out Monday's low into the monthly open, into the origin of this move, I would definitely be interested in a long position there. I'm not going to set limits because when I trade Monday's range, I'm never going to set limits at the low or the high. I would want to see a sweep, and it doesn't even need to be like a one wick sweep. It can be like, it could be like Bitcoin comes up here, trades above, and then breaks back below, and I'd be like, okay, the move above Monday's high is done. Now it's time to run it down to Monday's low. Like when I say sweep, sometimes people think it has to be one candle's wick, which isn't really the case. So wanted to clear that up. But yeah, I would say the main long scenario we're looking for right now is dip into the monthly open, and I'm pretty sure our weekly open is also like right there. Sorry, I know it's way far on the left side of the screen, but just wanted to mark that quick. Yeah, weekly open's right there too. I guess I could have known that, but whatever. Monthly, weekly, Monday's low, origin of the move, mid-range. So so many factors come into play with why this 35K region is support. And if I have a short from higher up, I would definitely look to de-risk down here. And I think this is a great place to build some leverage long exposure. Because if this is our breakout, I mean, you can draw some type of trend line here or whatever, breakout, come down here, go up for another leg, maybe take out those highs, and then we come back down and range or chop or something like that. I could see something like that playing out. It doesn't have to, but I think it's a very real possibility. So if we're able to catch a move from 35 to 42, I'll call that a successful week of leverage trading. Like if I can catch a single 4-5 hour trade, I'll be done for the week. Let's say we have our stop here. There we go. There's your 5.3 hour. And also we might even be able to catch it with an even tighter entry. Because let's say we do get our wick below here and then gets back above. Could try and catch something like this with a stop below this low instead of this low right here. And then you're talking 8.5, which would be pretty solid. That's a good 2 weeks. A good 2 weeks of work for me. If I nail a 8 to 10 hour trade, probably take a few days off. Need $100, who can spare? Yeah, that's the real wreck proof. Can I talk about my low time frame setups? It's basically the exact same thing. Like price is fractal, so what you see on a higher time frame happens on a lower time frame, and you can trade pretty much the same way. Right, so here's a 15-minute chart, or we could go even lower to a 5-minute chart. You can see after this spike, price kind of put in a range with this low and this high. Here was our move above the range, our retest went down towards the range low. Things like that. So like what I do on a higher time frame, it works the same on a lower time frame. It's kind of rare for everything like that to line up with a stream, and also I just prefer a higher time frame setup. I do think higher time frame levels carry more weight, but that doesn't mean you can't trade intraday lower time frame levels. So imagine taking days off in crypto, right? What about book and tape? I don't really know what that means. If price is fractal, then why do most traders lean towards higher time frames for the majority of their trades? I'd say it comes down to personality. Like, I don't want to sit in front of my computer for 12 to 14 hours a day. I'd rather just catch higher time frame moves, and I've developed aspects about my system in that way. But yeah, I think people decide if they want to be like a scalper, a swing trader, day trader, whatever, based on like their lifestyle, their personality, and just like trial and error, what works for them. If that makes sense. Yeah, slippage is one too. It's hard to get fully filled on certain positions if you're trading like a 1 minute chart. Am I looking for a short right now? We could. Like, not necessarily. But Like it might give something like this. I might look for a short between like, if we break down below the mid-range in here, down to there, something like that. But honestly, I would kind of consider that like an even, like I probably wouldn't talk about a scenario like this as much on the stream, because even though we are looking at an hourly chart, I think this would happen on a lower time frame. Like, I think the best way to do these streams is talking about higher time frame setups, because then it's like we can update them, we can talk about them, we can keep an eye on them in between streams and then revisit it in the next one. And also, I would say that's how I take the majority of my trades. I do some intraday stuff, but not as much. Did you do it in the beginning, or was your strat always aiming for minimizing screen time? I think when I was learning, when I first started trading, I wanted to be a scalper. And I think that's good because you get the most data, you get the most experience. Like if I traded the way I did right now, and I was brand new, I'd be taking like 3 trades a week, give or take. You know, obviously that it can be more or less. But I'd be taking around like 3 trades a week. And that's just not that much data when you're like really trying to test a strategy. Whereas if you're day trading, you could take like 3 trades a day. And then just get more data, more experience. Can you talk more about supply and demand zones? I will send you an article by one of my friends. His name is Adam. He has a great blog. It's completely free. And I would rather you read that than me try to explain it on the stream. I mean, he just goes into more depth than we have the time for. Okay, so quick summary of Bitcoin. A sweep of Monday's high, I'll look to short. Sweep of this range high, I'll look to short. Monthly open / Monday's low, I'll look to long. I think that's the simplest way I've put it for those that have been paying really good attention. Let me know if you agree. But I would say these are the 3 main things. You might not get a trade today. You might not get a trade tomorrow. But I find that these are the highest probability setups that I'm looking for. See if we have some confluence here. 35. Wick down to 34 maybe. So we do have some naked POCs. 34.4, 38, 33.8, give or take. I don't think we come down and grab that one yet. Turn that off, it makes it look messy. But yeah, we do have some good value areas in the same region we're looking for. Basically all around here. And with this scenario, like it could come down deeper to around here, consolidate, whatever, and then get back within Monday's range. So, but yeah, this is, I would say these are the main scenarios we're looking for. Any other questions about Bitcoin specifically? If there are none, we'll move on to Ethereum. Can Cause says, can we please check Litecoin? I might be able to take a peek at it. I'm gonna switch this back while I'm here. I can't promise that I'll have any actionable information on it. BTC 100x long or short? Yes. All right. Let me look at Ethereum. So Ethereum has been super clean. Still have all these untapped highs, but won't worry about that right now. I'm going to take off this monthly open. This range, guys, has been beautiful. I tweeted that Ethereum was looking really good here. When we wicked into this level, closed above, wicked into this level, closed above again. I don't remember if I closed it after the, or tweeted it after the first one right here, or after the second one, but whatever the case, this was super obvious resistance. It was resistance here, it was support, it was support, it was support. Flipped it as resistance, couldn't break above it. As soon as we did, this ripped. And this was a relatively high R trade as well. Stop at this wick. I mean, probably 4. 5.3. So that worked out really well. And then this sweep was a great short setup. I took the short on Bitcoin instead. But look how, like, we put in this high right into the range high. We swept this high, closed below. The close below is your trigger. Entry right there. Right here. Stop at the high. Target the mid-range. You got 2R as a more higher time frame trader in literally 2 hours. So Ethereum was, can't ask for much more. Played out great. It is a bit weaker than Bitcoin now. Like, this pullback went all the way into here on Ethereum. You can see right here, right here. So if Bitcoin does do this pullback scenario, where we go to Monday's low and the monthly open, then I think Ethereum might take out the bottom of this consolidation. So that's kind of what I have an eye on for now. And then I guess you could say just like wick into this level, give or take, would be the idea. So something like this. I'd say this would be the equivalent of this setup on Bitcoin. So that's something you could keep an eye out for. I think Bitcoin probably looks a little more clean. But what day is it today? Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday. Monday. So we did already take out Monday's low here. So yeah, this is another good way of looking at the strength of Bitcoin versus Ethereum. Ethereum already took out Monday's low. Bitcoin is far from it. Alright, I'm going to delete that because the levels aren't super relevant right now. Let me look at ETH BTC. Let's see if we have anything fun. I'm looking at stocks. ETH BTC. Alright, so we're still trading within this range here. It broke above it quite a bit here, so it stayed bullish for longer than I thought. Because I remember looking at like this, and I was like, all right, this probably pulls back. So me being more bearish on Ethereum than Bitcoin was a little early, but now it's kind of paid off. And I guess you would just look for bullishness around here for ETH BTC. Here, let's draw a clean range. I would say we're currently trading within this price leg, and I think it agrees with me. See that? Good mid-range interaction there. Nuked through it. If we zoom in even more, like, sure, it closed above just a little, but we nuked through this level, retested it, broke down. Oh, actually, we don't need to talk about those levels right now. So bullishness on ETH BTC, I guess it would be something like this. So let's say the long scenarios play out on both. Oh wow, this is getting rejected. That's good though, so we can get our longs. Let's say the long scenarios play out on both. We get this scenario on Bitcoin. We get this scenario on Ethereum. Then what I want to do is check this chart. If ETH BTC does something like this, I definitely want to get Ethereum long exposure. This doesn't mean Ethereum has to outperform, but I like the chances. And that's just on the basis that this continues to range. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. All right. Okay. Oh, I have it here. I think Litecoin probably come down to here. I don't know why I have that level marked, but let's say this is that same kind of cluster, whatever you want to call it, as this, which is where we're looking for our longs on Bitcoin. It's a lot of old analysis. Oops, wrong one. All right. I mean, I guess we're trading within this level. And we have daily supply right here. Origin, the breakdown. That's pretty clean. So, a very clear short scenario I see would be a sweep into that daily supply. Let's zoom in a little and draw it. Take out these highs, take out the range high, something like that. I like that as a short scenario. If the whole market does pull back, like we get the long scenarios we've been talking about, then I think you can wait to see where this goes, and then once it gets above the mid-range, that was an accident, you could take something like this and then run it back with one of these to wherever. But I would say that's what I'm kind of looking for on Litecoin. I don't really know what to do about this guy. I mean, super bullish, obviously. I think we're pretty clearly trading within something like this. and we're kind of at the range high. I'm just not really super interested in shorting this in price discovery mode. Like, it's the strongest coin out there right now. So yeah, it's kind of just off my list of shorting. But if we do kind of break structure, like if we consolidate here, whatever, and then break below this range, then I think you could look for a short. Because that would be like pump, consolidate, break down, versus pump, consolidate, continuation. But, alright, back to business. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I want to check. I think these are all super old. This worked out pretty well. I mean, it's going to look like it didn't. But if you know what I'm talking about, then you might notice it as well. Basically, we were looking for a sweep of these lows and then to get back above. And it did take out these lows. Didn't get back above until later. But then once it did, nice impulsive move off the mid-range, through the mid-range, retest, and then gave a nice little bounce. Not trying to take credit for that, but it just could have been an intraday setup, but I wasn't really paying attention. Yeah. Well, let me look at FTT. Yeah, this is messy. A lot of daily candles just look cooked. Like this Bitcoin daily candle looks pretty cooked. This Ethereum daily candle looks ugly. Especially if today's candle closes red. Yeah, I'm not shorting it. Don't worry. Luna might be on the verge of breaking out here. Kind of looks better than a lot of other stuff. But also, I would say it's a little tough to read. Like, clearly the structure is pretty good. We broke through this high, made a higher low, and now we broke above this. And I would say this, I know this is going to be a big SR level, but this general region has been pretty good. Support and resistance. So yeah, I mean, Luna looks fine. It looks more bullish than a lot of other stuff. I can't say I have like a long scenario here, but I mean, it is coming right into daily resistance. So the move might kind of be over. Get above that, though. Alright, I guess that is one thing you could look for. If we're able to get above this level, then I'd look for longs into these two. I don't know why sushi's trash right now. Let's see what Sol's doing. I haven't traded Sol in a while. Looks kind of messy. But I mean, to be fair, it's kind of holding up a lot better than a lot of other coins. This kind of looks like our classic bouncy ball meme, though. Lower high, lower high. Not saying that's gonna happen, but it's still not something I'm touching. Let's see. I mean, I think we pretty much have our scenarios laid out. I think later this week we can talk about more altcoin setups if Bitcoin holds this region. If it doesn't, I think everything is kind of wrecked and we're coming back down to the low. And in that case, I'm just not touching alts at all, so I wouldn't be interested at all. I am a little bit torn as to what I think we get next from a high time frame picture. Like this daily candle, it was great. We got a pump. Good to see some life. But now we've been going up for 7 daily candles in a row. Just straight vertical. And this kind of looks like the final scam wick up. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did get something like this and then just kept ranging in here. I'm not ready to say like this is a bullish breakout and the bull run's resumed and everything like that, because just doesn't look awesome. I mean, I've said it a million times now, but I just think we're arranging. You know, there's not... Some moves just happen fast. Like we had this move really fast, and we had this one really fast. So we get these big impulses within the range, and then other than that, like it's some slow chop, which we had a lot of recently. But when you get a big impulsive move like this, people kind of forget that we're still just ranging. The one thing that I do find interesting, which I said I would talk about, is funding. Like, this is insane to me. We have negative funding in quite a few places, and Bitcoin ripped 40% off the low in 6 days. Right, 38%. I don't care what the overall, like, yeah, we're still in a range, but I don't care what the overall market looks like. Anytime you pump this much, it is very surprising to see funding look like this. So that basically means that either people haven't been stopped out of their shorts, or they're just still entering new shorts here. When funding's positive, longs are paying, and funding is positive, like when everyone wants to be long, which you would think would be right now because it's just retail, and when they see a lot of green, they want to be long. So this is interesting to me. It's not enough to convince me. Negative funding means more people are short than long, essentially. Which is kind of surprising. If you search Trader Cause funding on Twitter, I recorded like a 2-minute video explaining it, basically. But that's... If funding's still negative, why are you expecting a move to the range middle instead of a squeeze to force the bears to capitulate? Because things don't happen in straight lines. And also, I'm not necessarily expecting a move to the mid-range. Like, these are plans. These aren't predictions. This isn't me saying, oh, it's going to go here, and then it's going to go here, and then it's going to go here. All I'm saying here is, if it moves up here, I'm interested in looking for shorts. If it comes down here, I'm interested in looking for longs. If it really squeezes up to 42, I'm interested in looking for shorts. Okay? So I wouldn't say this is me saying, oh, we're definitely going to the mid-range or we're definitely doing this or that. These are just scenarios, right? It's to be determined whether or not this does go back to the mid-range. And I mean, funding isn't everything. If funding was like some massive, like, I mean, I think there is some alpha in funding. But if it was some like best kept secret that always tells you exactly what direction the market's going to move, I mean, everyone would use it all the time. Like, I think you can use it. There is some alpha there. But I don't want to overstate it. Like, anything can happen with funding in any spot. I just find it interesting that we've pumped this much and funding is still negative. And it's something worth keeping an eye on. If this scenario starts to play out, or this scenario, and we see funding go back to really high positive rates, then I'll be like, all right, everyone's puking their shorts and FOMOing into longs right as we get up to a resistance. And so you could use it in confluence in that way. Or, you know, you kind of just need to, it's worth keeping an eye on. It's something that happens every single day, every 8 hours. Like, there's gonna be some alpha there. You just have to figure it out. All right. So, we'll see what the rest of the daily candle brings. It still is only Tuesday. So, I'm not... Do you weigh which exchange has plus minus funding in your decision making, like Binance? Not really. One thing I do keep an eye on is that when the BitMEX Ethereum funding is negative, this one right here, you want to pay attention. It is very rare for Ethereum's BitMEX's Ethereum contract to have negative funding. I'll tell you that. Good morning, Abuzar Sultan. Sorry if I butchered that. But yeah, I guess I will leave you guys with this. We might not, one of these might not play out by the time we stream next. We might just consolidate, we might just chill. And if that's the case, maybe go outside. Just do something away from the screens to distract yourself. Set some alarms at like high 35s at 40K. I think I will be streaming tomorrow. With SMFX. Yeah, because of the Quanto contracting. I think I'll be streaming tomorrow at the exact same time with SMFX. So we can plan on that for now, but I will tweet later today when that is confirmed. And then I'll let you guys know. But it'll be good to have him on here about his approach and just what he's seeing in the market. All right. So appreciate you all tuning in. If you guys, what am I doing? NBA draft is on Thursday. The Pistons are getting Cade Cunningham. And I can't stop being excited about it. But appreciate you guys tuning in. Do I use the daily, weekly, POC, and POC? Mostly daily, but I'll keep an eye on the weekly as well. As always, if you guys enjoy the content, feel free to check out Zort. You can also wait until I do that live account with it. I wouldn't blame you. I think I should have that set up this week, and then we can keep an eye on it, update the account, see what it's doing, just to be fully transparent. But it is a company I believe in, and I'm betting on the founder. He's a super smart dude. So, and then Bybit, of course. That's where I trade. Imagine being a Pistons fan. Your team's not going to have Cade Cunningham. Mine will. All right. I'm rambling now. Shout out to the sponsors. Their links are in the description. Shout out to Cade Cunningham and the Detroit Pistons. Shout out to Wrecked Proof in the chat. Shout out to Timeless. And I will see you guys tomorrow in another stream. I'll tweet when that's fully confirmed, but that's the plan right now. So, talk to you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in.